Hi, thank you for joining me today, and today is another process video for Scraptember 2024, and today's prompt is the word holiday. Now I'm using this in the British sense and recording photos from our recent holiday. We were on a cruise that went around the Mediterranean, so these are from Catania in Sicily, and the boat docked right in a fisherman's port, so it was just pictures of the fishermen's nets and the boats in the little dock. So I'm going to be using my travel kit. I've just got all my travel papers together, and this is 49er Market, their most recent travel collection. I forget the name. They're all so similar. So I've just torn 2 strips, you can see, and I'm going to add some water down the torn edges to make it easier to curl those up. Now this layout is also for One Sketch 3 Ways. This is a group that myself and my 2 friends Jackie and Helen have put together, where once a month on the first Sunday of the month we work on a sketch that we've chosen, either created ourselves or chosen from somewhere else, and we show how each of the 3 of us interpret that sketch. Now I did it on the first Sunday of the month, but I really wanted to give it another go, so that's what I'm doing today. And I'll add the photo in the top left hand corner there of the sketch, which is from Page Maps, but I've actually rotated it by 90 degrees, you can see, so that I've got my photos going vertically rather than horizontally across the page. I've also used 3x4 photos rather than using the 3x3 that are shown in the sketch. So for the circular elements on that sketch, I'm using this lovely stencil from All and Create. We sell this at Hey Little Magpie, a fabulous compass stencil, and I'm using that with Uncharted Mariner ink from Tim Holtz, because that just goes really nicely with these papers. So just blending, I'm just doing just over a semicircle because that's all I need to peep out from behind those papers down here. I do decide to add on the NES afterwards for North East South. I was going to leave that off, but I think it'll look better with it, so I go back and add those in. And then I was thinking of using something else for the other semicircle, but in fact this looks so nice I decided to add that to the left hand side as well. So you can see here I'm just popping the stencil underneath and then doing exactly the same up here. Now I am going to move the title. That will go on the right hand side of the page. It just wasn't going to fit here, and for now I decided not to add the stitching in the corner, which would be the bottom left hand corner in my layout, but I do end up adding something there in a bit, you'll see. So there are those 2 stencils down. I've also got the branding strip from that same paper, so I've only used one piece of pattern paper on this layout. It's amazing how far, when they're double-sided, you can make things stretch, really, isn't it? So these 2 pieces are both the same paper, and then I've also got that branding strip. So I'm just trimming off a little bit from the piece that's going behind because I didn't need that much paper to layer these up. I probably could have trimmed a bit more off, really, but I've got a lot of paper, so I don't need to worry too much. So just checking that I'm happy with the rolling of that edge, and then I'm going to bring this branding strip in on the left hand side. It's like a nautical map measurements piece, so I just thought it went really nicely with the photos. So just running a small line of my ATG tape down the left hand side, and then I can get that stuck under, and then I'll stick this straight down onto the layout. So the white cardstock is still looking very white for my liking at the moment, so I'm going to work on that shortly. I've stuck that down so it's not very easy to add stamping, so I'm just going to work out where these photos are going to sit, and then I'll work on how to make that slightly less white in the background shortly. So this middle one is of the port, and there's a lot of the blue sky showing, so I can take that to my advantage and overlap the top one. Now this one I really struggled with which way around the photo was. I'm still not convinced that I've got it the right way around actually, but it was just a pile of fishing nets sitting on the side of the port, so I just thought it looked beautiful, so I wanted to take a picture. So these are the rub-ons. In fact, I've got the collection here so I can tell you what it is. Wherever. So these are the rub-ons from the Wherever collection from 49er Market, and I'm just choosing various pieces, just as I say, really to dirty up that white a little bit and just add a bit of distressing. So I'm just choosing sort of map and wordy bits to add along here, and there are also some little compasses and some arrows. So I'm going to add a fair amount to this bottom section, overlapping that compass, Just wanted to move that photo. I wasn't happy with the way it was sitting, so just move that a bit. So here's one of the compasses. So I'm just going to add that towards the top of that stencil compass. A bit higher up there. So I'll add that there, and then I'll move over to the left-hand side and add a bit more to that left-hand side as well. So I'm already much happier with how this is looking. It's just adding a little bit of interest and making it less flat. And these rub-ons are ever so easy to use. You just peel them up, and if you see that they're still attached to the backing, just rub them a little bit more as you're peeling off the backing until it's all down. So now moving over to the left-hand side, and I'm just focusing around the stencils at the moment because I'm not quite sure how else I want to embellish this page. Sorry about the camera wobble. My tripod is attached to my desk, so it wobbles when I'm use pressure to rub the rub-ons down. So there's another piece that's got a bit more mustard in it, but the mustard's coming through at the top of those papers, and it's also in those ropes at the bottom, so I'm fine with that. Again, just rubbing off as I pull the backing sheet off. Another bit at the bottom here. I just felt this bottom edge needed filling in a little bit more, so this is more of a cream piece, and again it's a scale that you would find on a nautical map. Just making sure it's all down and rubbing it off as I go. And then I find another piece that I'll add above that. And also this arrow piece that goes up the top here. So just dotting these around the background just to, as I say, just add a little bit of interest there. Almost there now. And this one, the beauty of these rub-ons is that you can overlap them over pieces of paper. So I've got the arrowhead going over onto that branding strip that I've got running down the left-hand side of the papers. And it just goes on like butter. So these are the washi stickers from this collection. My lovely friend Julie gave me these. So I'm just adding a few of those, again, just to add some interest about the page. So I've got a compass there with the other compass and a couple of arrows that I've added. And then I'm coming in with my title. So I'm going to put Catania in Sicily. So using these chipboard letters for the town. And then I'll use those Simple Stories foam stickers for the place. And I do move these about. These are so old that they're coming off. The glue is nearly all gone. They're coming off the backing sheet, so I can just position them there for now and then move them around afterwards. And I will glue them off screen with some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive just to make sure that they're well stuck down. So just spelling out Sicily with these foam stickers. These are from the Simple Stories, the Vintage Essentials collection. I had to think about that. They did a cream set and they did this black set, and they've just got a tiny hint of newspaper print on the background. They're absolutely beautiful. I may see if I've got any left in stock and get another pack actually. So you can see I'm just moving those chipboard letters. I'm going to overlap them on one another. I really like the look of that. And it just bunches them up a little bit more so that they're more or less the same size as the word Sicily. And then I'm just going to add some journaling underneath, just saying about the fact that the ship docked right in this little port. And then my roller date stamp to add the date at the bottom of that piece. And then I decide to focus on that left-hand corner. I do want to bring some stitching in, so I'm bringing my Tim Holtz Stampers Anonymous stitching stamps. These are absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to run a longer one down the left-hand side here, and then a shorter one along the bottom. So here's the first one, and I'm just using my archival ink to put that down. It gives a nice crisp black image. So there's the longer piece down. And then you can see how many different stamps you get on this set. They're lovely. So just one more. Just position it at the bottom of the block. I was too lazy to grab a smaller block. Again, adding plenty of ink. and then I'm just going to overlap that at the bottom corner. Now when I've done that, I realised that they should have been overlapping a little bit more, so I'm just going to grab my black gel pen and just add a few more lines just to sort of make that look as if it's lengthened the stitch a little bit. And as soon as I did that, I realised that I've got this huge blank space below the stencil on the left hand side and in between that little L that I've created with the stamping. So I'm just looking through some of the ephemera pieces to see what I can add down here to make it look less blank. So I think about this geotag, but I decide against that. So I just start going through and finding different things, and in the end I settle on a stack of tickets. You'll see me slowly building that up. So I've got that lovely mustard one, a navy one, and then I wanted a word strip to go along the bottom. I couldn't find anything really suitable, and then I found Where We Belong. Sicily was the place that I was most excited to visit on this trip. We went to a couple of Greek islands, Italy, southern Italy, the Boot, and then Sicily, and it's one of the places that I've always wanted to visit. So I was a little bit apprehensive because sometimes when you build something up so much, it disappoints, but it really didn't. All four of us actually said that this was our favourite stop of the whole trip, so that was really nice. So I can use that phrase, where we belong. So just going to pull these apart so that I can stick them down now. I found that green piece, and it does have a little torn edge at the top, but that's absolutely fine. By the time everything's layered up, you won't actually notice that anyway. So just seeing if I wanted another label there, but decide against it. So here goes the word strip, and then I decide that I want some more. It needs more, more layers. So I'm going to go into my stash and find my 49er Market tickets. Here they are. I think this is the Inkwell colourway. And I'm just going to add a few more tickets to this cluster. So one at the top there, I found a smaller one that says the story, so that's perfect to add to the left hand side here. And then I, after I've stuck that down, I do decide to pull one of the stamps out as well and just stick that behind where the word phrase piece is going. And that just finishes that little bit off really nicely. So just gluing that down. And then I decide I want a ribbon loop. I think it's been a little while since I've done any ribbon loops on my layouts and I've missed it. So just adding a grey gingham just above that word strip, and it just brings in a different texture, and it brings in the colours of those nets at the top photo. Brings that down the page to that little bit. So just tucking that in there. And then the very last edition, one of James's JD 3D print birds, seagulls. I just love these, and the white on white is really subtle, but it just adds something to the top there. And that's the layout done. Do check out the group. I will add it to the description box down below. Come and join us on Facebook, and I shall see you again very soon. Bye.